Those are all. For show.
Keep a listen to that music, baby. Continually, right here on the Coyote Medicine Show, only and exclusively on the ever-loving, sweethearted center of your universal heart, the Hazy Radio Network. You want to get it clear, dear, you gotta tune in here in order to get it clear, because otherwise you're going to be hazy for the rest of forever, and we don't want that now, do we? No. We want you hopping on the old bandwagon. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. Listen to the music, and baby, there ain't no mountain high enough to keep us away from it, man. If you believe in me, that is. Oh, yeah. Isn't it amazing how the TUNE-AJE can just arrange itself? Because it does spontaneously to make your heart large and large and larger and larger and larger and larger and larger and larger and larger. Yeah, it's like Aoki Kenobi here. He was born 100% hard, and you know what? He stayed that way. Even though he has his doggy-like ways, he's quite the character, man. I'm telling you, I love him so, don't you? That's you, Oki. The perfect assistant DJ, and let's have a little talk. Help Oki and all his dog friends be happy today, huh? Keep you guys out play, huh? You betcha. Keep that old dog smiling. Oh, he loves it so. Here comes a good talk for you, brother. Just for you, buddy. Just for you. Yeah. Well, for all of our friends out there, too, all of our family, our little Vibe tribe, our coyote clubbers that aren't land lubbers and aren't sea lubbers either, man. What are we? We're fly lubbers. We're sky lubbers, man. That's what we are. We live in the clouds, and we prove it, too, man. Our head's always there. Now we just got to let our heart catch up with the rest of us, eh? Get our head down out of the clouds and our heart back up there. All of us put together, you see. Yeah. Big old ball of wax just coming together like that, eh, Oki? Yeah, little buddy. He just wants y'all to know he's got a message for y'all this morning for the love of dog. Be the dog that you are, the dog you love, you know. Wag your tail when you see your friends coming down the street. Lick their hands and sniff their butts and so forth. Be friendly, in other words. Well, not overtly friendly. There are social mores here that would prohibit some dog-like behaviors, yeah. But in the meantime, we'll be getting over that shit, because our love knows no condition. I think it'd be awesome if human beings could do just what dogs do when we meet each other, sniff each other's crotch and backside, and just have a great old time getting acquainted. Why fiddle around, you know? We're just little kids here in the fields of life to have fun, blossom, and grow, and just be the #1 child that we are, and on every level, in every way. Aoki? Yeah, that's what he says. He says he's cheering you on from the sidelines here continually. And he wants you to know that today is your day. Yeah, Free Day Friday. Speaking from the dog sort of way, man. Now, he don't even know it's Friday. Don't mean no nothing to him, because it's just another day, right? Well, he'll go along with it just because we do, you know. But, you know, it's just kind of silliness to him. He don't need no calendar, no clock. Nothing to tell him what's going on during the day, because he's just right there living it, man. Moment to moment, in that yogi-like love that he is. I'm telling you, this kid was born solid heart. And he's going to be that way forever. Just grow, grow, grow. And see, he's setting a good example for the rest of us. Don't you know? Yeah, baby. See, that's what our animal companions are all about, helping us getting it straightened out. Because if we hang out with those that live naturally, some of that nature's bound to rub off on us a little bit, if nothing else. And we can start to adapt our ways to be more adaptive to the nature we live in. No, you don't have to go around sniffing each other's butts. Just live in your heart. Go with the flow of what you already know. And that'll get you where you want to be. That so says Obi-Wan Kenobi, the yogi dog of life, man. He's got perfect nirvana going on. He's 100% hard, man. He has achieved the ultimate status in creation as a whiny little weenie dog. What an amazing character he is, I'll tell you. Just like us, he's got many facets to his personality. but they all kind of flow in the same direction. You see? See what dog's here to teach us? Well, dog, horse, cat, kitty, whatever. It's all the same thing. Don't be playing with your kitty now. Unless it's meowing, okay? But they all teach us the natural way. Every animal we have an association with. Even if it's a little birdie just comes and lands on our hand or our shoulder or something, says, hey, man, you're pretty grand. You know, listen to the birds. Listen to their music. Listen to the music of your heart. And pretty soon you start to catch on to the whole idea, well, yeah, life is rock and roll, and guess what? It's a rock opera, for heck's sakes. Yes, it's better than Jesus Christ Superstar, or what's that other one, Rock Opera Tommy, etc., man. We're better than pinball wizards. We know how to fly UFOs without pushing buttons, man. All you got to do is lay back and remember for a little while, and suddenly there will be your personal UFO right over your head saying, at your service, sir, ma'am. Where can we go? What can we do? You see, those UFOs are living things, man, just like we are. They have conscious presence, but they know their function, just like we know our function is to have fun on all levels. Their function is to make sure that we have fun, too, by getting us to where we need to be. If we're too damn lazy to just transport ourselves, teleportation, etc. See, human beings are incredibly empowered and incredibly capable in this creation. But, you know, a few million years back, we got invaded by some rather harsh beings that, you know, you could call ETs. They're from another world, another planet, another place. Well, several other planets, really. But anyway, long story short, we got taken over. We got reduced genetically into this density, this dense form we're living in now. We got weighted down by gravity, which we'd never known before. And everything became rather serious and grave, and we didn't have the thinkings to think our way out of it. We lost our heart. You see, and I've been dealing with this in a very personal way, because that very thing they implanted in humanity back then, and they being us, because the invaders are us. It's all us. Don't you get it? That's why we let them invade. That's why we subjugated ourselves to this nastiness. It was time to rehabilitate and bring ourselves back together again as a whole presence. And we couldn't let part of our person living off on the edge of the universe, raising hell and hate and tyrannical discontent. We couldn't let that be. We had to put an end to that kind of polarity. We had to bring life back to its naturally flowing essence. Living in nature, the natural way, which ain't a dog-eat-dog thing the way you see it. No, it's a pleasure to live in the flow and to get ever-increasing pleasure out of it, don't you know? In that contented, heartfelt sort of way. I stand amazed each and every day as I watch that creation flow through me into this reality. And I'm amazed at the situations we create for ourselves to live in. It's just out there, man, you know, how far we'll go to get away from the truth. Because part of our essential programming is to refuse truth. And baby, we've been pretty loyal to that programming all through the generations, haven't we? With a few minor exceptions here and there. But see, every human being gets implanted with a material thing in their person that will keep their head and their heart from communicating very well. I call it blockage. You call it what you will. It's part of the invasionary technique, but part of what we're here to learn and grow from, too. The more frustrated we are, the less in tune with our heart we are. The more we know that, and the more it points back in the direction of follow your inner knowing, your feelings. The deep, real ones that bring you to life and keep you there all the doggone time. God, you're such a sweet little fuzzy butt kid. I just love you so much. Yes, I do, my little doggy. He's such a great little guy. He really is, man. I tell you what, it's just like he makes me want to live naturally and not have any issues or difficulties, you know, other than the old man yelling at me every now and then. We couldn't yell at Aoki. Well, we have to once in a while. Because he really is a whiny weenie dog. And occasionally he gets this idea that if he makes enough noise, he can get out of the car and not have to wait for me anymore. And, you know, God, I hate leaving him there, and as much as possible, I take him everywhere. But once in a while, he does have to wait in a shady place in the car, you know. And usually he's pretty good about it, but if he knows there's a sucker around, he's going to raise hell and be whiny, barky. Oh, let me out, I want to go play. That's the worst thing he ever does. And you know, I can tolerate that. I just go move him to some place where he can't see nobody, and then he's okay. He don't like it much, but he's okay when it has to be that way. But you know, our little animal companions are meant to be with us because it's kind of like an alter ego in a way. It's our natural side, or at least a part of it, teaching us the way. And that's why we have these little pets and associated animals that we train and grow with, you know. They more like training us. I never could understand why you call anybody an animal trainer. I've called myself that because I used to break and train horses too since I was a little kid. But guess what? They trained me. I mean, I got to be honest about it. I see it clear as a bell nowadays. Those animals trained me how not to be a cruel little cowboy that got to dominate and domineer everything. They taught me the gentler ways of nature. Well, some of the harsher ones, too, man. They weren't afraid to clobber you when you had it coming. But they never hurt you bad enough you wouldn't come back. You see what I mean? They're just sweethearts. And they have their little personalities and their finickiness too, and it can interfere with the process on occasion, but for the most part, they're living naturally so we can see our way back to living naturally. And naturally is when everything lives in harmonious and equitous love, which, I might add, this whole entire earth and all the universe around us is moving into a full perception in creation of the love in it all. It comes from the center of us. Now, how much better can it be? I don't know, but all I know is my little dog Koyote is quite satisfied and content right now and happy. Now, I think there's a lesson in that too. What about you? See, happiness is not so hard to achieve because you don't have to achieve it. It's your natural state of being. That is your nature. Happy. Content. Contentedly sighing that happiness into all of creation. Beautifully so, too, I might add. Elegant, spectacular beings that we are, despite our caricature nature here in the 3D, baby. We're starting to see what we really ought to be, what we truthfully ought to be are, right? I think I'd rather have a UFO than a car. If it's constantly available to me, that is, you know. Don't take no gas. Just takes a smile and, hey, baby, you feel like hauling me down to Alamos today or over to wherever I need to go, you know. And it looks at you and says, why not, baby? They're there already. You don't have to sit down and drive and wait and wait and wait. Waiting's over, baby. Time is folding in on itself and becoming non-existent. And we're ready for it too, babes. Ready and waiting. But not for long. Singing our little heart song in that coyote way on the Coyote Medicine Show. Your morning wake-up call and so much more. Here on the ever-loving, sweethearted center of your universal heart, the ever-clear Hazy Radio Network, dear. Rockin' the network you ever found since you got that dial spinning around, let me tell you. Well, hey, not necessarily dreaming about you, dreaming with you more like, dreaming in the scheming of this dream we're living in, wouldn't you say? Ooh, babies, what a bright and beautiful free day Friday we got going on. United in this heart as we get our great start right here with our morning wake-up call. Grandpa Coyote, Okiwan Kenobi, a whole bunch of relatives and ancestors and angels and just everybody else you'd ever want to see hanging out here with me and you, baby. The human family setting itself free in the most delightful sort of way, with rock and roll and rap for your soul and, you know, harmony for your heart and a radiant love coming to you from 9,000 feet high in the Rocky Mountain sky. Oh, yeah. Grandpa Coyote help you take off and fly. 'Cause you know how already. You just got to remember, man. You know, shoot. We're all in this together. You see one of your neighbors spreading out their feathers. Well, you know it won't be long before you will, and you'll be up there flying around with them too, so don't worry about it. If you see angels sprouting before you are, that's okay. They're just helping you find the way and blazing the trail the same as we are right now, without fail. Day to day, Monday through Friday. Each day you get another little dose of that coyote medicine in that coyote way. Helps you get it a little more clear, dear, now, doesn't it? Yeah. You start to feel, you start to see, you start to understand, and you start to flow. Start, don't you know? 'Cause that's what we're looking for, is that beginning moment. That beginning place, wherever that is and whatever that is. Now, it's not in time, and it's not in space. It's here right with us. We just have to collapse the time and space away to see it. You see? 'Cause our Earth has never gotten old or deteriorated. Not in the way that it seems now as we live in these vast wastelands out here in the West. Yeah, they ain't wasted lands anywhere. See, the paradise exists because we've kept it there. And around the outside of it, we kind of built this world. This 3D reality, which includes the universe around us besides the Mother Earth we walk upon. See, and walking ain't our nature. We can do it when we want to, but it ain't our nature. Flying is. We are birds of flight. Absolutely. The bird tribe united, as Ken Carey predicted some 25, 30 years ago. And here we are getting it together. On this little Coyote Medicine show for starters, but that's just starters. Start, don't you know? It's all over this world coming at you in like 5 million different directions. In fact, from every direction it can come, it's there. And every human being is. Well, some are being tormented by it. Some are being blessed by it. But every human being is feeling it and receiving of it. Every one of us. Those in high places that have had such closed-off hearts are finding a difference. You know, they really are starting to feel something that's real, and they didn't know they could. They thought they were cut off from feeling for the rest of forever. Other than the delight they take in their wickedness, that was about it. That's the only feeling they could enjoy. Well, now we're bringing them around, girl and boy. We ain't letting them hang out there no more. 'Cause they're part of us. If you're a human being and not some synthetic creation, well, then we've got you. And if you've got some synthetic creation in your place, like a clone that's doing all your work for you, we got them too. Because they got humanity in them. Guess what? We can plant a consciousness right there. It's there anyway. We just awaken it. So even your clones are going to screw up for you now. Programming don't work no more. All that fancy technology and that ageless, we're going to live forever thing. Yeah, right. It doesn't happen that way, does it? And if you could live forever as a human being, you'd be so worn out, so disgusted with yourself after a while that you'd have to change anyway. So, you know, let that dream go. Dream the real dream. Get in the flow, don't you know? Here on the Hazy Radio Network with Grandpa Coyote and friends, which includes the whole human family. They're all my friends. I love everyone. And everyone loves me whether they know it or not. So if you don't knock it off, I'm going to slap shit out of you and find out, man. See how much I love you? Oh, the reverse psychology has been played on us and played on us. Tough love, tough love. I was a great believer in that for the longest of time. And there still are occasions where it's appropriate, but for the most part, all that does is make people disagreeable. It does provide contrast, and it does allow for change, so it's not 100%, you know, but it is kind of just the same, you know. And we don't need none of that unless we really have to go, right? Imagine what a different world this will be when we have no needs whatsoever. Yeah, you don't need anybody, you don't need love, you don't need food, you don't need respect, you don't need breath, you don't need air, you don't need oxygen, you don't need shit. You do it because you enjoy it. It's a different state of being. It's a voluntary thing. Every breath you take, every beat of your heart. I will continue because I love it here. See, that's the basic thought behind it. And now we just become consciously present in that thought. Why? Because we're feeling the creation around us, as well as inside of us. We're starting to understand that this life is all about feeling. And that's why they, quote, quote, have worked so hard to keep us away from feelings. To dumb us down and numb us around to the point where we couldn't feel nothing. And therefore be just little zombies controlled by whatever, you know. Doesn't quite work that way, does it? Because inevitably everybody wakes up. I don't care how severe the programming is, and if it takes millions of years to get over it, we do get over it. It does wear off. And this stuff I'm working on now in a personal way, I imagine, because I'm being called in this way, a good share of humanity is too. And we're getting down to that initial programming that for some reason or another was not changed when I came around the first time, and started to live this kind of a life where I could be a little more pure with people and share the wealth of my richness. Even though I don't have much money, I'm the richest man on earth, or one of them, let me tell you. You guys can join in anytime you want, of course. Just open up. Take a little toke on the Mary J, see if she don't help you along the way. Continually. But just open up and live, and then be, because you enjoy the feeling of it. You see? That's where contentment comes into play. And I always see the old Holstein cow out there laying on a little mound in the pasture neath a shady little tree, chewing on her cud just as happy as can be. When I think of contentment, don't you see? And maybe that old cow has held all that energy for us. Maybe that's what she's here to share with us now. Maybe as we reunify consciously present in our creation, maybe we'll receive all of these gifts that nature has held for us, that we scattered far and wide so we wouldn't be bothered by them for a while. We wanted to see how it was to be stupid. Well, we found out, didn't we? And even in our stupidest days, in our stupidest ways, in our dumbest behaviors, the heart was still alive and active in it all, else none of it would have happened. See, so we took the human heart, the heart of creation, and we put it off in this superficial paradigm we call the 3D, and we put it to the extreme test. Ourselves right along with it, because we are a product of that heart, each one of us. And in fact, an exact replication of it, each one of us. Each one of us the living center of our own creation. And through our shared perception, which is personal, but is shared with everyone, we bring forward the joy in our unique area of life, whatever that might be. We're all specialists, don't you see? Each one of us has our own little niche in this reality. And some got a lot of niches, and some only got one, but that's all you need. Whatever it is, you're content and happy with it. And carefree, too, because when you're content, that means you don't have a care in the world, except that you love everybody. But see, it takes a different bent then. It's not like, oh, I love them, I better help them. No, it's more like, I love them, and so we'll provide for them. See, it's not desperate anymore. We don't live in scarcity. We realize the abundance of the universal heart inside of ourselves, and therefore we realize the abundance all around ourselves. And come back to life in the richest of places without the need for money, without the need for greed, without the need for anything. Again, there's no scarcity. That was the illusion. You can't have enough of this, you can't have enough of that, you can't have enough of that. Oh, you better get some more. You don't want to run out. When you're living creatively, nothing ever runs out. Everything is just the way you want it to be, as the heart predicates it. For it's through the heart consciousness that this is created, the perception that we live in. And it's through duty to the heart, or paying, I don't know what you'd call it. Duty is the wrong word, because that implies obligation. It's through appreciation of this heart that creates, in that divinely innocent, intelligent sort of way. It's through that appreciation that we come around. and find the full presence of ourself, radiantly alive inside of a human person. The whole thing, though it radiates around us too in our auric field, because you really can't keep it all in, it's the whole of creation. Yet, inside us is an exact replication of the creation around us. Any personal issues we're dealing with, then, are issues the universe is dealing with in its own way, in its own right. And what we're doing as a person is helping the universe get it right. See, we are the children of creation. We're in synchronicity with this creation. So, if it's the least bit out of kilter or out of whack, it's because we are. And as we get ourselves back into kilter and back into whack, well, then we become the love attack. And everything else gets it back together too. You see, that's how critical it is. In this 3D, it's like that. We are the ones that set the flavor of the universe around us. And what it will be, whether it'll be oppositional and competitive or cooperative and loving or whatever, anything in between. And we've sure done a lot of the in-between, haven't we? But it's by our own determination that that comes into being. And guess what? That choice is not such a personal thing, so you don't got to feel all responsible for it. You are acted upon and through by the collective heart of all. All the children of humanity, all of us who are human, in other words, because we're all children, work in synchronistic harmony to bring about the best result for our. Therefore, most of our personal behavior is predicated by the thought of the collective heart. There's a little of it that truthfully is personal, and the experience of it is 100% personal. But the activity in it is 100% an activity of the collective. See, now we've been taught to be free and independent with liberty and justice for all, right? I mean, that's the high ideals we've set for ourselves. The only part of that that's really necessary is free. The rest of it just happens automatically. You don't have to write it down or codify it into a set of laws and rules and regulations and bullshit realities to go with it. You don't have to practice ritual or anything like it in order to be cosmic and alive in your cosmic nature, that which creates. For that is our natural place of being. And again, that's what our little animal friends, and the big ones too, are here to point out to us. Live according to the nature of your heart. And as you do, you see incredible miracles all around you. As this life returns to the place it's always been, the equitous heart, the center of all things, the paradise that we live in and never left. We were knocked out by an illusion and brought into millions, maybe even billions of years of experience here by that illusion. We never let go of our truth. Our spaceship love is the center of the universe, and it is the Mother Earth, but that true Mother Earth, the one that couldn't be harmed if you tried. You wouldn't do it. You can't. We're all made of the same love. You couldn't stick a needle in yourself. You can't stick a needle in the Mother either. You see? We start living in equity. We feel the same thing at the same time, and now we recognize it and deal with it in our own personal way still, but as a productive act of the collective heart of humanity. See? So all the lovers you've ever been with, all the meals you've ever consumed, all the miles you've ever traveled, etc., has been predicated to you, through you, by the collective heart in all. Now I know that seems incredibly crazy in a world as insane as this one, where there just doesn't seem to be a lot of sanity. The insanity is ruled here forever. Yet we're becoming sane, and as we do, others can recover too. And nature will rise up and provide all of her gifts for those that are ready. And baby, we get it back like a heart attack, Jack. That's the tsunami of love, the nuclear explosion that's spreading across this reality. with great finality, I might add, because it's the beginning all over again. And that's where we've always been. We're just waking up to it, babies. So don't let them get you to park. Keep your motor in motion. Keep the liquid in your ocean. Keep the love in your heart. And haul ass, okay? Because then you got some class, baby. And everybody will want to be like you. How about that? Well, guess what? Everyone is. And now they realize it, too. Wow. That's a pretty incredible burden you got on yourself there, huh? Nah, it's a blessing. See, because everyone feels like you do. They're just working their own way through, same as you. How about that? That's always Coyote Medicine through and through, wouldn't you say? Ooh, the Coyote Way on the Coyote Medicine Show, only and exclusively, where else but the ever-loving center of your universal heart, the Hazy Radio Network, an energy drink for your soul and so much more. Hey, it just can't be beat. That's all there is to it. Free Day Friday, baby. Cut it loose. Set it free. Be